Years ago, I was sitting a retreat with the teacher Kittasaro, and a line from a Pablo Neruda poem showed up in my mind. If each day a flower climbs up to your lips to greet me. And so I began doing this metta practice for individuals and myself, just this daily flower of metta climbing up to my lips, up to their lips to greet them. I had just shaved my head, so my hair was maybe 1/8 of an inch long. And so during the practice, a fly came and it landed on my head and it got stuck in that little bit of stubble. So I gently removed the fly from my head and set it on the floor, and all of a sudden had the image of the tiniest flower climbing up to the lips of the fly. So today's practice is this practice of allowing the flower of metta to show up for everyone without you having to create it, without having to be responsible for it, without them having to accept it or not. It just shows up each day. So allowing yourself to rest comfortably on whatever you are sitting, lying down, or standing on today. Taking these next few moments, these next minutes of practice as a time of ease and a break from anything else you're having to deal with in your life. And imagining a flower beginning to show up in front of you, that it is climbing up to greet you, and whatever kind of flower that might be. Might show up as an image, might show up simply as a smile on your face. Or maybe a phrase, may I receive the flower of metta today. And while that flower of metta remains nearby to support you, calling to mind someone easy for you. And imagining their own flower of metta showing up for them. Maybe imagining how they might respond if they knew this flower was there and could really receive it today. And for the next few minutes, simply imagining any other humans or four-legged companions or other critters that show up to have their own flower of metta climb up to their lips to greet them today. Beginning to imagine people around you who live in your apartment or neighborhood having these flowers of metta accompanying them through their day. And perhaps you visualize people walking around with these flowers, simply with them. Or again, it might be a phrase, may you receive the flower of metta. Or a sense of friendliness, imagining this. Then beginning to imagine your neighbors in your apartment building or neighborhood walking around being accompanied by the flower of metta, unique to each of them. And as this begins to expand to maybe the town, the city, the larger area, to include all living beings, that all creatures, great and small, can have this flower of metta show up to greet them each day. If there are some types of critters that make you feel nervous, can you still notice this flower of metta climbing up to their lips? You don't have to get close to offer this. You don't have to create it. You can just notice that this is happening. Birds and insects, worms, fish. And humans. Imagining an earth populated by this beautiful garden of flowers of metta. And as we come towards the close of this practice, coming back to the flower of metta that is shown up for you today. You don't have to do anything for it to show up. It's just its nature. As you go about your life today, can you recall that this flower is accompanying you through the day, offering its fragrance of metta wherever you go? And maybe imagining others with their own flower of metta as you are going about your day, seeing them on the streets, in your home, including all creatures. Blessings on your day.